I changed the title. I don't know if you were checking when it was up there earlier. I'd like to speak today about knowing your authentic self. True self or pretend self? Knowing your authentic self. It's like we're going to say, will the real self please stand up? Because we do have more than one expression of self. You've heard the phrase ego self, self with a small s, and self with a capital S. That divine self, that true self, that authentic, from the beginning, it's always been us, the divine self. And today we'd like to consider that. First, I want to tell you a story. A story about a boy in search of his true self. So before 1940, there's an Italian writer called, I'm going to look so I get it right, Carlo Collodi. When you know this story, raise your hand. Carlo Collodi wrote a fantasy story, an Italian author. And in 1940, Walt Disney Studios, okay, hands are going up. The second feature film that Disney made was Pinocchio, a boy in search of his true self. Of course, you probably know the story, but we'll review it. Geppetto was a woodcarver, and he carved, among other things, marionettes, puppets. And he got to carving this one puppet, whom he named very early Pinocchio, and in the carving he fell in love with the puppet, and just wanted more than anything that would be a real boy. And so that was, you remember the song from the movie, When You Wish Upon a Star. Here's Geppetto wishing on a star that this boy could be his real self, the one that Geppetto had created in his mind. And then, okay, here we go. There's Pinocchio. I said I'd put it up, I forgot. Then who came along? Who was the next character that showed up?
Cricket.
No, not quite. The Blue Fairy. Emblematic of spirit. Blue Fairy shows up and endows the puppet with life. But the puppet is still two selves. A marionette, and with all the potential life of a real boy. So the Blue Fairy appoints Jiminy Cricket to be the conscience for Pinocchio, or I like to say, the consciousness monitor. Jiminy Cricket is monitoring the consciousness that goes on with Pinocchio. And the story continues, and you know it probably well. One of the first things that happens is that it is charged to be brave, to be truthful, and to be, what was the other word? Forgot it. We'll get back to it. Brave, truthful, and what the other one was? Huh? Could be courageous. I don't know. That sounds good. Oh, unselfish. That's what it is. So brave, true, and unselfish, the charge from the Blue Fairy, in order for Pinocchio to actualize his true self. And Jiminy Cricket's the help along the way. The consciousness monitor that's going to guide Pinocchio into this. Now, it didn't work that way. Pinocchio, a creature of free will, was very soon distracted and decided to take a job being a marionette in a show. And that didn't end well. In fact, he was affirming his not so lively, not so vivified self. And he kind of got into a slavery sort of situation, locked in a bird cage. And when the blue fairy appeared to him again, what did he do? He lied. And of course, this is what we know, and that nose began to grow. Now, in the original story, there's another character that we don't see in the Disney story, a woodpecker, that comes and chips away at that nose and restores Pinocchio to that place where he's balanced between those two selves. Well, he escapes that and learns maybe a little bit of a lesson back to the original where his nose was. And then someone comes along and says, you really ought to take a vacation on Pleasure Island. Well, Pleasure Island's a good place. Very exciting. You want to go. Of course, it wasn't the true self. It wasn't Pinocchio's to do, but it was very attractive. And of course, he was again enslaved, in a sense, on that Pleasure Island. And in fact, turned into, at least partially transformed into a donkey. It wasn't a nose this time, it was a donkey. He did escape. And in that escape, he found that Geppetto, his creator, who saw for him the real boy that he was, that the blue fairy had vivified, Geppetto went to look for him. And looking for Pleasure Island, not Treasure Island, he was in the sea, washed overboard in the familiar story. He was swallowed by a whale. Interesting. Here's where the true self of Pinocchio comes out. Knowing that his creator had endowed him with love, he went on to rescue Geppetto. Also was swallowed by the whale. And was divinely, I like to think it's divinely inspired to say, here's how we can get out of this fix. Let's make the whale sneeze. And the whale did sneeze, and they were tossed back into the ocean and washed up on the shore. But sadly, Pinocchio was killed in the process. He died. Well, at least it seemed like he died, because the blue fairy was there again to say that being brave, being truthful, and being unselfish, he had realized. And so it was his to be the real boy that he was created to be. He was resurrected. Happy ending, of course. So that's the Pinocchio story. Did you like that, Ellen? Ellen and I were talking about that ahead of time. So in this process of realizing our true selves, I'd like to just share my approach to it. I'm not going to quote the spiritual masters. I'm going to share what's true for me. I think there are three elements to this, and I'd like to share them with you in my experience. In order to be your authentic self, in order to claim the truth of who you really are, for me, it means seeing good. Seeing good. We talk about the goodness of God, always good, everywhere present. For me, that's true, and here's how I work it out. I know it comes from within me, it just resonates over time that God is good. All good. So I can say, like the Christian scripture does say, they intended it for bad or for evil, but God intended it for good. Even though it doesn't look like I want it to look, even though it doesn't really please me all of the time, the goodness of God has enveloped me over time. How does that happen? It happens by taking that core belief that's pulling at me and developing it, nourishing it, letting it grow. God is good. The divine is good all the time. I've arrived at that place. I also realize that what you get is what you see. No, I didn't say it wrong. We often say what you see is what you get. But what you get is what you see. So if you're looking for divine goodness, if you're looking for the expression of goodness in your life, you might just see it. We know that whatever we focus on, we draw toward us. The energy that we put out matches with the energy of goodness. This has been true for me, and I'm grateful for the wonderful things that have come into my life as a result of getting what I see. And I've also learned that good is a choice. You know, we're expressions of the divine. We say that in unity all the time. We're divine expressions. And we get, with our free will, to choose how we express. We could be expressing that old self, that small self, that ego self. But we have the choice of expressing the true self, our authentic self. So we can choose good. Seeing good. That's number one. First element for me. Second is hearing spirit. We've done a little bit of this already this morning. We've gone quiet. We've listened for spirit. Hearing spirit. Here's how it works for me. Tuning into spirit. For me, how many were here 2 weeks ago? Do you remember the little exercise we did? We did the exercise that we were going to go home and choose a common, everyday sort of thing, and we were going to be present to that thing in our life. We were going to be conscious and aware to be present of that life. Well, I chose eating breakfast. And so, over these last 2 weeks, almost every day, I wanted, when I ate my breakfast, I eat the same thing every morning, so it's not hard there, to be present to that activity. Not to be thinking about 100 other things. Not to be planning my day, but to be present. And you know what I found? In that choice of that one event, I found out it's easier for me to be present in other situations as well. So for me, practicing presence, tuning in the spirit, is very helpful. Take time to be still. Oh, our worlds are so busy. But when we take time to be still, that's when we have an opportunity to hear. Otherwise, there's such a cacophony of sound that we miss what may really be important for us. So I recommend to you, because it works for me, take time to be still. Again, that may mean just putting aside all of the other thoughts. Because thoughts are part of it too. Thoughts can run, even when you're physically still, thoughts can run wild. Take time to put those aside and be still. And then once you're there, here's how it works for me. Listen. Oh, we're so good at forming a response. When we're in conversation with somebody, we don't really listen to them. Well, a little bit, but we're already making our response. Well, it's my experience anyway. Maybe not for you. So learning to listen to the voice of Spirit. I know some of you have had that experience. Spirit, in a very real and very tangible way, has spoken to you. You've heard the voice of Spirit. And that comes from that place of stillness and giving our attention completely to the divine that wells up from within us. It's not going and reaching for a divine somewhere very far away, but what wells up within us. Listen. And then the third element that works for me is speaking truth. A lot of facets of this, and we won't cover them anywhere nearly. But I invite you, I'm going to put it in here. After the service, as we go to the potluck, and everybody come. The potlucks are good stuff. I'm going to sit at one of those round tables. And if you want to talk about something more deeply than what we could cover it here in 20 minutes, please come sit with us. We'll talk. Speaking truth. Here's what works for me. Oh, this was a hard one for me. Anybody familiar with the 4 agreements? Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word. I learned early that maybe I could escape a little bit of my mother's wrath if I fudged, if I lied. And sadly, that carried on in my life, and it's been a learning process to be impeccable with my words, not to make myself look a little better by a little deception, but to be impeccable with my word. Speaking your truth. This is a tough one. This takes a lot of courage. Speaking your truth may mean at the time that you're scared, that you're hurt, that you're afraid. And if you are, to pretend it doesn't exist is not speaking your truth. To engage it. To find what it is that you need, to find the resources to address where you are at this time and at this place. To explore it fully, knowing that it's part of that grand goodness that we talk about. Even that hurt, that scare. Speak your truth. There are people that can help you do that too. Donna's one, NBC, Speak Your Truth. She talks about that all the time. And know and speak truth. So yes, there's our truth, your truth, what's just particular to you. But there is a cosmic, a universal truth that resonates with us, and we're learning as we go on our spiritual journey. Know and speak that truth. Now, sometimes that may mean a very uncomfortable situation. You may speak with someone in conversation where you're not really in agreement with them. Instead of just nodding your head and saying, when will this conversation ever get over? You know that from within, you must speak the truth, as you know. Or maybe you need to speak the truth to power. If you're so urged, if you're inspired by that, if that comes up within you, if that's your truth, and that's the sense of cosmic and universal truth that is yours, that resonates with your soul. Speak truth, but know truth. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't know. You know what? That indwelling spirit that's there in all of us, that authentic self deep inside knows far beyond what we give it credit for. So know and speak truth. These are 3 elements that have worked for me. And I hope that as I've shared them with you, they may be helpful as well. Remember these guys? So tell me what they are. There you go. See no evil, Hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, you know, the funny thing about it is the biggest translation, understanding of this is turning a blind eye on something. Pretending that it doesn't exist, not engaging it like we spoke of a moment ago. This goes back to a Buddhist tradition, back I think to as far as the 7th century in China. This idea of speaking, hearing, or seeing, speaking, and hearing. But there's a flip side to it. Now this has become very popular. We all know this. Now here's the flip side to it. I don't know if you can see, but start on the right. Do you see what he's doing? See good. It's not see no evil, it's see good. And you go to the left, and it's hear spirit, we've said this morning. And then, of course, speak truth. So these are the three. So I think I'm onto something because it's been around for a long time. So I'd like us to do this. You have to have something to take home with you. So this, get ready, get your arms free. You don't necessarily need words with it, but I'll put words with it a little bit, and then we'll do it just without words. So first of all, it's, you can use two hands. See good. Yeah, you're getting it. Hear spirit. Yeah. And see truth. All right. Now let's just do it silently a couple times. And I want you to take this home, and whenever you think about it this week, just go through the motions. All you have to do is go, and you're going to remind yourself of it. So we're going to do it together, slowly, twice, and in silence. We're not going to use the words for the moment. Okay, here we go. Once more. You got it. So, the truth, the authentic self, for me, is one that sees good, hears spirit, and speaks truth. And so it is.
Thank you, Neil. Now it's time to sing again. So let's stand and sing.